3 mass extinctions, ice ages, volcanic winters, the collapse of entire ecosystems. And through all of it, this animal survived. You are looking at one of the oldest living blueprints on Earth, a creature that walked beside species we only know from fossils. And right now, as you watch this, fewer than 27,000 of them remain alive on our planet. 27,000. Fewer people than the capacity of a mid-sized football stadium. Imagine every single person inside representing the last of an entire species. That is the world the rhinoceros lives in today. But this video is not just about numbers. It is about how these animals actually live, how they claim land no other creature dares to challenge, how they carry their young for longer than almost any land animal on Earth, how they communicate entire life stories without making a single sound, and how a species this powerful, this ancient, became so fragile so fast. By the end of this video, you will understand the rhinoceros in a way most people never will. And there is one biological secret about rhino pregnancy that will genuinely change the way you see this animal forever. Stay with us, because once you know what is truly at stake, you cannot unknow it. And to understand what we stand to lose, we first need to understand what the rhinoceros actually is, because most people have it completely wrong. Most people think of the rhinoceros as one animal. It is not. It is 5 entirely separate species, each shaped by millions of years of distinct evolution, each facing its own specific crisis. In Africa, the white rhinoceros, the largest of the 5, and surprisingly the most social. Then the black rhinoceros, smaller, more agile, critically endangered. Despite their names, neither is white nor black. Both are gray. The names derived from mistranslations that simply stuck across centuries. In Asia, the greater one-horned rhinoceros, its thick folded skin resembling plates of ancient steel, semi-aquatic, a strong swimmer. Then the Sumatran rhinoceros, the smallest, covered in reddish-brown hair, and the most endangered mammal on the planet. Not just the most endangered rhino, the most endangered mammal, period. And finally, the Javan rhinoceros. Fewer than 76 individuals, all of them in a single national park in Indonesia. No zoo, no sanctuary, no backup population. If something catastrophic happens to that one park, a disease, a volcanic event, a poaching surge, the species ends permanently. And almost no clear footage of the Javan rhino exists. A species vanishing before we ever truly saw it. These are not relics. Rhinoceroses evolved 50 million years ago alongside the earliest ancestors of horses. They are closer genetically to horses and tapirs than to elephants. Irreplaceable, ecologically critical, and perfectly built for a world that is disappearing beneath them. But to truly understand the rhinoceros, you need to follow it into its territory, because what happens there is nothing like what you would expect. When a rhinoceros moves through its landscape, it is not wandering, it is reading and writing. Every dung pile, called a midden, is a communication station. From chemical compounds alone, a rhino can determine the sex of the individual who left it, their age, reproductive status, health condition, and how recently they passed through. One midden visited by up to 20 different rhinos per week with almost no confrontation. The territory manages itself. A black rhino male maintains a territory of over 130 square kilometers in the dry season. He does not patrol it constantly. He marks it methodically, returning to key points, refreshing signals, adjusting boundaries based on what he reads in return. The horn is central to this system. It is not bone. It is compacted keratin, the same protein that forms your fingernails. Used to mark trees, scrape soil, dig for water, and establish dominance. Most adult rhinos carry visible scars. The fights were real, powerful, and occasionally fatal. And yet, rhinos avoid direct confrontation approximately 80% of the time. The chemical network functions as a negotiated peace treaty, written in biology. When two males do meet at a boundary, they approach slowly, vocalize, deep snorts punctuated by something unexpected from an animal this size, high-pitched squeaks, posture, circle, and in most cases, one withdraws without a single horn making contact. But when a female enters a male's territory carrying the signals of reproductive readiness, the entire dynamic shifts into something far more complex and far more dangerous. Rhino courtship is not gentle, it is not brief, and it is not won by the strongest male, it is won by the most patient one. When a female approaches reproductive readiness, her urine chemistry changes in ways detectable to any male within range. He begins following her, not aggressively, persistently, sometimes for up to 20 consecutive days. And during that period, she charges him, repeatedly. She turns, lowers her horn, and runs directly at him. He must absorb those charges without retaliating. What looks like aggression is evaluation. She is testing his composure, his physical condition. If he cannot endure her, he cannot protect what comes after. Eventually, she allows contact, and then begins one of the longest gestations of any land mammal on Earth. 16 to 18 months. A horse carries its foal for 11 months, a human 9. The rhinoceros carries for 16 to 18, in increasingly dangerous landscapes while maintaining territory and avoiding poachers. In Sumatran rhinos, researchers found that environmental stress, chronic disruption, habitat noise, human proximity can directly interfere with successful implantation following fertilization. The pregnancy does not begin properly. This means the pressure of living in a shrinking habitat does not just kill adults, it prevents the next generation from existing at all. Poaching does not just kill rhinoceroses, it stops rhinoceroses from being born. When birth comes, the female seeks complete solitude. She delivers alone. The calf arrives between 40 to 65 kilograms. Within 1 hour, it stands. Over the next 2 to 4 years, it learns everything from its mother. Every plant worth eating, every water hole worth trusting, every boundary worth respecting. None of this is instinct alone. It is transmitted directly from mother to calf. When a mother is killed, the calf does not simply lose protection, it loses its entire curriculum. You do not lose one rhinoceros, you lose one rhinoceros and everything she knew and everything she would have taught. And yet, despite that bond, the adult rhinoceros ultimately lives alone, not from inability to connect, but by deliberate evolutionary design. Solitude in the rhinoceros is a survival architecture. A large body demands large caloric input. A landscape cannot support that input if shared without collapse. Solitude is how rhinoceroses make their ecosystems function. Their senses reflect this design. Eyesight poor, clear vision barely 30 meters, but their ears rotate independently like radar dishes, and their sense of smell rivals domesticated dogs. A rhinoceros may not see you at the edge of a clearing, but it detected you when you entered the valley. Their most consistent companion is not another rhinoceros, it is the oxpecker, a small bird riding on their back, feeding on ticks, vocalizing sharply at approaching threats. Their most reliable relationship weighs less than 60 grams. But even the most perfectly designed animal cannot survive what is happening right now. The northern white rhinoceros is functionally extinct. 2 females remain, both in Kenya, both incapable of natural reproduction. The subspecies exists only through frozen embryos and IVF programs racing against a biological clock that has nearly run out. The Javan rhinoceros, 76 individuals, 1 location, 0 captive backup. The Sumatran rhinoceros, fewer than 80 animals, fragmented across forest patches too small and too isolated for natural recovery. Conservation teams are deploying drones, GPS collars, AI poaching detection, and translocation programs, physically moving rhinos to safer reserves. Frozen genetic archives are being built against total loss. Every intervention costs money, political will and sustained public attention. Conservation funding follows awareness. The rhinoceros is not a passenger in its landscape, it is infrastructure. The vegetation it shapes, the seeds it disperses, the soil it turns, none of it functions the same without it. Share one fact from this video. 1. Because the animal that survived 3 mass extinctions should not disappear because not enough people were paying attention. If this video moved you, if even one fact stayed with you, please like it right now. It takes 1 second and it tells the algorithm that this story matters. Share it with someone who loves wildlife or someone who doesn't know enough about it yet. And if you want to follow what happens next, to the rhinos, to the scientists fighting for them, and to the other giants this planet is quietly losing, subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell, because the next video is already coming, and it is not a story you want to miss. Now, the rhinoceros does not know it is endangered. It is simply living, exactly as it has for 50 million years. The question was never whether it could survive the wild, it was always whether it could survive us. That answer is still being written, and it is being written right now.